Hello there. Now, this is a bit of a strange one today, but according to ITV News and The Telegraph, a Pakistani web developer named Farhan Asif has been arrested in Lahore in Pakistan for allegedly spreading fake news about the Southport attacker online on a now deleted news aggregation site called Channel 3 Now. Now, this is the initial fake news about the attacker being an asylum seeker from a certain demographic. So is this Keir Starmer trying to send a message that the UK reach where the web is concerned has no bounds? Or are there concerns about the intentions of the publisher in Pakistan? Is it a message for ex-owner Elon Musk, who's already under attack from EU lawmakers who want to shut him down for running a site that has diverged away from the required hard socialist path? Whatever is going on, Farhan Asif has now been handed over to the Federal Investigation Agency. Now, Pakistan does have its own laws on fake news under the Prevention of Electronic Crimes Act 2016, on spreading fake news as part of its policies on protecting intellectual, moral and fundamental rights of its citizens. And within it is a ban on spreading or publishing fake news via social or mass media that causes harm or racial hatred, for example. And it applies to all the people of Pakistan. But this shows it also applies to fake news spread within Pakistan or worldwide about events in other countries. So is this just Pakistan doing what it thinks is the right thing? For its majority religion, maybe? For the reputation of Pakistan? But what if someone posts something in Pakistan that is true in another country, but the Pakistan authorities decide that it's fake or false information? And would something posted in Pakistan have such a massive effect in the UK anyway? Or is this a test to make sure global laws are all aligned so that anyone posting anything in any country that goes against the general narrative can be brought to book within the country in which they reside? Or is that just me starting a conspiracy theory? Anyway, Mr. Asif denies writing the story and said that it had been deleted soon after with a full apology, and up to 4 people may have been fired as a result. Now, the big question for me is who initiated this whole arrest procedure? The Pakistan authorities? Or did the UK perhaps go through diplomatic channels? And is this a sign that in the future those who comment on international affairs had better have all their ducks in a row first? That the armchair generals that potentially stir up events in other countries are also now in the spotlight, and that they could get their collar felt when they thought they were sitting pretty thousands of miles away? What if the UK establishment also decided that UK hate and misinformation laws are not geographically limited? They could easily start to trawl the accounts of those that commentate in the UK on such things as Gaza, Ukraine, or the US elections maybe. In fact, I believe that one heavily pro-Palestine social media activist was met by the police on landing in Heathrow in the last few days for their social media activity. Not sure what's happened to him yet. So could it be people held to account with no extradition required? Is all this okay? Or is it just another slippery slope? Over to you to decide. Now, this is a good one. If only they could arrest the scammers. Well said. I get absolutely fed up with the number of emails and telephone calls and all the rest of it we get. We know they're all fake, but no one seems to do anything about it. And the banks, when you are scammed, they either try to wriggle out of it or they just cough up in the end, and then everybody that's a bank customer ends up paying. So it's just ludicrous. We do really need to tie up that scamming end. It really is just an open checkbook for some of these people, because they operate internationally as well. And it is actually fake information, isn't it? 1984. Yeah, I think it's a worldwide 1984 push. Once they can join it all together, then all the authorities can take a look at us and what we're doing and decide to take out the most important targets, or the little people, whatever they want to do. It's not a good thing to happen, is it? Bravo, Jeff de France. Terrific for Britain. People worse and worse. Yeah, okay. Well, I hope you mean that I'm terrific for British people. Sorry, I can't quite decipher that. But thank you very much for the comment. Patriots face being attacked in prison. Now that is a very worrying thought. The stories we're getting out of prison is that some people are controlling them more than others. And that should be a worry for everybody. And they're very hard line about it. So I gather I've seen various newspaper reports on it. So yes. Yes, and Mr. T had that problem as well, didn't he? When he was inside for that length of time, he ended up having to be isolated. The politicians benefit from scammers. Maybe, I don't know. They just don't seem to care. They don't seem to want to put any laws in place to stop it. They're more interested in what you and I say than what people take out of our bank accounts at the first opportunity. If you want to criticise Keir Starmageddon, you'll be arrested for 2 to 5 years. Well, maybe. That's the way we seem to be going, isn't it? I'm just worried that every time you pick up social media and you might say the wrong word, or you might retweet something that you actually believe is correct. Then you find out later in the day, when maybe you're at work, you haven't got access to your thing, to your mobile device, and that they say it's all fake news and they're chasing you all down. I mean, what a situation we're in with all that. People just honestly retweeting stuff. Maybe there needs to be an if button. I'll tweet this if. Yes, and I wonder if the Labour manifesto will be considered to be fake news as we go forwards, and their £20 billion black hole. Was that fake news? Did they know all about that? Because we have got the Office for Budget Responsibility, haven't we? And they say they know everything, and they told Labour everything. Get me this 2-tier out of my pub now. Yeah, I remember that event. That was quite eye-opening, wasn't it? When that publican threw Keir Starmer out of his pub. He didn't do so in a gentle way either. It was quite, quite nice to see. Yeah, we might actually, I've just been reminded, we might be going to Bath for a drink near that pub in the near future. We'll let you know. If you even breathe, I'll arrest you. Well, there you go. Yes, yeah. But the trouble is you have to pay to breathe these days, don't you? You know, pay for the air you breathe, because you've got to pay for net zero, and that effectively is paying for the air you breathe. Whether or not they do anything to actually make the air better, they just take your money. They don't use it for that. They use it for all sorts of other things. Hi, Jeff. I'm watching from New Zealand. Love your work. Hey, great to hear from you. Lovely to see that you're tuning in to what we're saying over here. I like to tune in occasionally to what's happening over there, down in the Antipodes area. So, really nice to hear from you. Our mutual best friend is Truth. Well, yes, I mean, yeah, Truth should be our best friend. But a lot of people find that the truth is something that you hide. Truth is money. That's half the problem. Truth or lies are money, and they mean money, and it accumulates people wealth. So they either hide the truth or hang on to it and don't disseminate, or they'll move it. It's just ridiculous. I thought this Labour government would fall in 2 years, but it's taken 1 month. That has to be a record. Well, they haven't fallen yet. They are falling off the popularity scales, and I think people are waking up. But they haven't fallen. They're still there with their massive majority, ready to scribble all sorts of useless laws into action that will destroy our freedoms and destroy our economy at the same time. They are a useless bunch of wasters, and we do need to get rid of them. They're just a shadow of what Labour used to be in the old days. I remember when you had two parties, one left and one right, but they weren't extreme. It's only when Labour became extreme that it began to go really bad. Tyrannical Labour. Yes, I think we're getting that way. Tyrannical is my word that I would use. Why can't Keir Starmer listen? Why can't he listen? Why does he always have to shout at people and call them names? It just beggars belief that that's how he thinks he's going to rule, how he's going to run this country for the majority. He's not, is he? He's barking at us day in, day out about how bigoted and racist we are. Oh yeah, remember Gordon Brown with that bigoted woman when he got into his car and forgot he was still mic'd up? A big mistake. As Richard keeps reminding me, every single microphone that you're within 10 feet of is live. Go on that basis and you'll survive. Don't succumb to silence, never surrender. I think that's the same comment as we had in an earlier live stream, but it's absolutely right. We must keep speaking out, making our voices heard. Even if we have to change our language, we must keep going. Yeah. Oh dear. Yes, just reminded, Keir Starmer's father. I bet you don't know what he did, do you? Keir Starmer's father. Yes, as one commenter has put on here. Yes, his father was a toolmaker and he did a proper job here, didn't he? Yeah. Greetings from Northern Ireland. I'm offended Starmer labelled us all racist here in Northern Ireland yesterday. Yeah, I've talked about this before. It was bereft of all feeling, bereft of all sense. Just unbelievable that he would come out with a statement like that saying it's all clearly racist. No one has any concerns of any merit. You either accept my modern way ahead or you're a racist. And that's it. And I find that just absolutely browbeating nonsense. What kind of state are we going to be in after 5 years? Oh, I dread to think. If we keep going like this and there's no change in this government, and they don't change tack, I don't know where we'll be. It's just beggars belief. I wonder, and I can't say it because they'd say you're inciting it, but I think we're heading towards a bit of a raising of temperatures, if you get my drift. The only thing left that is free at the moment is the air we breathe. Well, I'd argue with that because we're paying through the nose for net zero, and that's all part of paying for the air we breathe. Everything is taxed. If they could put something up your nostrils that measured the amount of air you breathed so you had to pay a tax on it, they'd do it. Yeah, get ready for the budget on that one. I wonder if they have got nasal air meters. So when is Nick Lowles from Hate Not Hope going to get nicked for spreading false information? Yeah, we discussed this earlier. Yeah. My view is that he's probably got a good lawyer. Calling all people in Northern Ireland racist, that's untrue. Keir goes straight to prison. Yeah, you could do him. You could say he has to prove it, or it's fake information, fake news, isn't it? I mean, I saw people's temperatures rise because of this, so it's not exactly calming things down, is it? Belfast, no surrender. Well, yeah, there you go. Oh. People are waking up. Don't make me laugh, Jeff. I'm not sure whether that means whether people are waking up or are waking up, don't make me laugh. Either way, some people are waking up and others aren't, as is the case in most things. What we need is more people to wake up and stand back and look at what is actually happening to their bank accounts, what's actually happening to their freedoms, and then make their own minds up and then vote accordingly, or join whichever organisation they want to accordingly. The law is a set of rules to protect the rich by the rich. Yeah, I'd go a bit further than that. One of the old things that used to come out is that the government's first duty is to protect its citizens. It's not. The first duty of government is to protect the state. So everything government does protects the state first and foremost, on the premise that if it doesn't protect itself as the state, then the state can't protect you. So it has to protect the state first. And actually, your money is then used to protect the state. And when we go to war because the state's politics has failed, your life goes towards the state, because the state is more important, is the most important thing. So always remember that. And generally, the state is either run by or funded by the rich people. And the rich people are the ones that talk to politicians. They invite them to big dinners, for example. They never go to the poorhouse or whatever you want to call it, or the little working man's club down the road, do they? All these ministers. Maybe they should. Wouldn't be welcome anyway. Who decides what is fake news? This is the thing, isn't it? Because my truth is someone else's fake news, and their truth is my, I would call it fake news or incorrect. There's so much of it out there, and there's so many people, when they get angry, they say and do things. It's just amplified on social media, and that's what they're really worried about, is people getting angry and amplifying all that anger on social media. And the more people that get angry about government policy and get angry about government policy and start amplifying it all through social media, they don't like that, so they have to stamp on it, and they'll use the police and the courts to do just that. And I think this is going to get worse going forward, as I've said before. Yeah, there is the truth and the subjective truth, but the subjective truth is usually just my truth. Everybody's truth is their own truth. We don't actually know the truth about many things. But even in quantum physics, 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4 or something mad like that. Right, a bit of good news. I won a police complaint today. Even though I won it, I'm going to ask for a review for 2-tier policing. No fine for the officer. Yeah, okay. Well, congratulations on winning. I don't know what your next move is going to be, whether it's worth it, but your lawyer will tell you what to do there. Right, okay. Thanks very much, everybody. I just thought I'd bring you that little story because it interested me and all these sort of implications around it. It may just be, the local law enforcement doing their thing in Pakistan, and stopping all this sort of stuff and trying to prevent their own people from spreading fake news, but it does send out the message, don't spread news in case it's fake. This is the big thing that's coming through. Don't say anything, might be fake, where we need people to say things. And if they're mistakes, what we need to be doing is encouraging people to come forward and say sorry. That's what we need to be saying. Yeah, and be careful what you say about events in another country, because you may think you know what's going on over there, but generally, a lot of people have said to me, why don't I get hard into American politics? I know nothing about American politics. I read a lot about it and I look at it, and a lot of it looks very strange to me. It's just so different from our politics. So if you think you know what's going on there, unless you've lived there for several years, I would say generally you're probably not as informed as you may think you are. Anyway, I've got to go now because my beer calls me, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Thanks very much for watching.